The third aspect is personal skill development. Personal skill development. And to know our skills, we need to know what and to develop our skills, we need to know what our skills are. Obviously, most of us know what our skills are. I mean, you go through so many tests and stuff and personality stuff, and you know what your skills are. But many people in the church don't know what their skills are. That should be one of the first few classes that are done to find out what your skills are. What are your spiritual gifts, so that you can be useful in the ministry. There are numerous tests that can be done. The one I like, and this is from Rick Warren's Purpose-Driven Ministries, the SHAPE test, where it's spiritual gifts, and then heart is what do you like to do, and then ability is what are you able to do, because there are some things that you like to do but you're not able to do. And then what is your personality type? What fits in with your personality? So if you're a super introvert, even though you may like to be a super extrovert, I mean, it's not going to work. So let's find something that fits in with your personality. And fifth is experiences. What experiences have you gone through, or your family has gone through, that can contribute to what ministry you can do? And so every member of our churches need to take a test at the beginning of their Christian walk, so that they can know how they can be useful. And so we need to develop our skills. What are our gifts? Once we know what our gifts are, we need to develop it. We can't just be, okay, well, I learned, 3 chords, 30 years ago, and I still play the 3 chords for all these 30 years. No, I mean, if you're a worship leader and you play let's say you play the drums, I mean, you can't just go with, the 4-beat. I mean, you gotta learn something. Advance your skill no matter what your skill is. Let me give you a couple of examples from my life. My primary ministry is preaching and teaching. And so I have got to advance those skills. When I was doing my doctoral ministry program, one of the courses that were there, it was not mandatory, but one of the courses that was there was a course in Biblical Greek. For various reasons, I wasn't able to learn languages in my previous theological studies, so I jumped on it and I learned Biblical Greek it was an 8 credit course out of 48. So 1/6 of the thing was Biblical Greek. So I jumped on it and I learned it. Last year, in the course I'm doing now on Christian apologetics, it is not mandatory for this course, but I took a course on biblical hermeneutics. Because I taught how to interpret the Bible, I had read up about it, I had done so much about it already, but I wanted to have some formal education. So I did a course on biblical hermeneutics for 2 months. Why? Because if this is my gifting, I need to advance it. I need to get better at it. So when I read the Bible, it's not just to preach, which is good, but I'm learning the Bible, interpreting the Bible, just for me to learn how to read and how to interpret. And so whatever gifting you'll have, we need to advance our skills in that particular gifting so that we get better and better at it. Take a look at this video.
I do the exact same now as I did when I was 21 in 1975. I sit, I play with ideas, I go, this is funny, I want to talk about the stickers on the back of the minivan. I'm never not working on material. So every second of my existence, I'm thinking, could I do something with that?
That to me sounds torturous.
It's like going into the gym every day.
It's hard.
You know how you walk in every day and you go, oh, geez, I got to do this again.
Yeah, it sounds like a tortured life. And you say it's not, but
it is. But you know what? Your blessing in life is when you find the torture you're comfortable with.
I can't argue with that.
And that's marriage, it's kids, it's work, it's exercise,
yes.
It's not eating the food you want to eat.
Right.
Find the torture you're comfortable with, and you'll do well.
I'm not sure I agree with the torture part of it. That was words put into his mouth by the other guy. But the concept that he is constantly working on material, because he's a comedian, he's constantly looking for stuff to make a joke out of. And in our lives, whatever our gifting is, so for example, because my gifting or my ministry is preaching, I'm constantly looking at finding stories and illustrations and how something connects back to Jesus, because that's the bottom line of every sermon. How does something connect back to Jesus? So in our lives, whatever our gifting is, we need to be thinking in those terms constantly to constantly advance our skills.